Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video and watching this. Today I want to talk about what you should study for the Vtne. Now I did sit down and take the test, so I do have a better idea of what is on the test. However, I obviously can't say the exact questions that are on there, but I do want to help people out with their anxiety to what you should really be focusing on. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so if you are anything like me, I have severe test anxiety, so I was very stressed out when I had to sit for the test. I do want to say I did not pass. However, I am definitely getting ready and preparing much more than I did. I wish I knew what I know now. So I am sitting for the test once again, and I will be making another video shortly to keep everyone updated if I passed or not. However, I do have an understanding of what is on that test. I can't say the exact questions, but I do want to help everyone out who is like me, who has really bad anxiety. So hopefully this will help with your anxiety, knowing and feeling more confident in knowing your skills on what you should know for this test. So first things first, I do want to say, if you have a Facebook, if you don't have a Facebook, just make a fake Facebook just to be friends with this Facebook page that I found. There are a lot of good questions on there. They also have, it's a really good like support system. So there's people on there that are taking the test, and also post that they're like have severe anxiety, they're nervous, they're scared, and there's a lot of people that comment on it like, you'll do great, don't worry about it, and giving very positive feedback. Also, there are people that have taken the test that put some practice questions on there, or put their books that they're trying to sell that they were studying from on that Facebook page, as well as there is a person in there that is trying to help everyone learn, so she puts a lot of questions on there as well. And the Facebook page, I'm gonna try and put this up. So it is that right there. It's called Vtne Prep. That is the Facebook page that you want to request. It has helped me feel better about myself. It also, I'm not gonna lie, I have posted on there like about me being nervous taking a test. I got really great feedback on there. Also, I want to say that there is on the Vtne Prep Facebook page, Beth, who is the main person on here, she is doing a class for $150 for 8 weeks. It's a crash course to get yourself ready for the Vtne test. I am enrolled in it. I haven't done it yet, haven't started it yet, but I am getting prepared because honestly, I was not nearly prepared for this test as I thought I was. So this time around, I am getting all the things to help me do this test, because I was not studying the right stuff that I should have been. But now that I know, now I'm doing everything I can. So I am enrolled in this crash course for the Vtne. I've heard great things about it. I actually have a vet technician coworker who has done it, and she said that she wouldn't have passed without doing the course. So with that being said, that is also another outlet that can help you, especially depending on the type of learner you are. I am a doer. I have to do things to learn, as well as listening. So if you are a listener, and that's the way you learn, I believe this crash course should help you much better than just reading in a book. And then I do want to talk about books as well on what you should be reading. Alright, so a lot of people are talking about the Mosby book. I do have that. I feel like it doesn't really help me. I just feel like I'm reading and it's not really registering in my head. I have the book. I am reading it. Don't get me wrong. I also just purchased this book, which I feel like is a little bit easier for me to understand. This book right here, I am currently reading. I believe it, for me at least, it explains it a little bit better. I'm understanding it a lot better than the other book I explained. But it's really on everyone, the way people learn. I did do the Mosby book the first time around. When I took the test for the first time, I did the Mosby book. I just purchased this book. So this is new, so I'm hoping that I will pass this test after reading this book, because the Mosby just didn't really register in my head. Also, another thing that you can do is they have these apps that I have on my phone. So they have the Vtne Prep here. Let's see. It's called Vtne Prep. It is... I really like them too, is because they have these really good study guides, which I kind of use this app more for the study guides than anything. They also put things in a little bit better, for at least the way I can understand, a lot easier than the Mosby book. So I've been also going on this app to study and using their study guides here. Let's see. I'm going to try and see if I can show you guys a little. Yeah, so this is the app that I have. This is what it looks like. So this is all their study guides on here. Yeah, I have like a ton of things to study from. And I think that that should help you guys. At least it helps me, the way it's organized, a lot better, I want to say. They also have a bunch of questions on there, so you can use it as, if you learn that way, just taking, asking. They ask questions, and then you'll know right then and there if you got it right or wrong, and then they explain why, if you got it wrong, what the correct answer is and why that's the correct answer. They go into details, so that helps a lot. I also do that daily. I take I do the questionnaires daily to help as well. Now this app, you do have to purchase it. I did a 3-month purchase. And I did that the first time I took the test. I want to say didn't really help me that much. Like, the questions on this app is not the exact questions that are on the test. So that's why I always say you don't want to memorize the question. You want to know what is behind the question. So when you are studying, you don't want to know. Like, for instance, for me, I was studying the anatomy hardcore. I was like, studying all the bones, where they are. But in actuality, you want to study for instance, what does that organ do? Not necessarily like where it is, but what does that organ do? Why is that organ so important? Those are the things that you want to study. Or medication. You don't want to just know the names of the medication. You want to know what that medication does. What does that medication resolve, as far as, does it resolve, does it help with a disease? Is it a fungal medication? You want to know what this medication is and what does it do. That is what you want to study. Also, if you don't have a lot of money to spend, there is another app called Pocket Prep, which I also have. I did it in the beginning, like 4 months before the Vtne test that I took, and I wish that I continued that, because I feel like that, even though it's cheaper with me, I feel like that is a little bit closer to the questions that are on the test. And again, it's not the exact questions, so you never want to memorize questions and then the answers. You want to know why that's the answer, because you're never going to find a book, you're never going to find a app that has the exact questions, unfortunately. I also want to say is there is a website called the American Association of Veterinary State Boards, AAVSB. If you go on there, if you go to the exam services, it should say online practice tests, and then you click on purchase a Vtne practice tests. Those tests are $45. However, it gives you a better understanding how well you're going to do on this test, because those questions are not the same that are on the test. However, the way they're worded is very similar to the way it's going to be worded on the test. So it will give you a pretty good idea if you are going to pass this test or not. I did a couple of those as well. They were pretty helpful in knowing what I need to study, what subject I need to study a little bit more. They also have on here review materials, and I do want to say what is very important is knowing your abbreviation. You should know all your abbreviations, because there can be questions that you're not quite sure of, but you can at least do process of elimination if you do know certain abbreviations. So I do want to say try and learn those. They should help you as well. Also, I know a lot of technicians that, I know you're not supposed to do this, but I know a lot of technicians that ask other technicians in their workplace, oh, hey, I know you took the Vtne, what were the questions on there? Or what should I study as far as what questions did you have on there? And a lot of people are like, oh, I had a lot of farm animal questions, so you should study farm animal. Not every test is the same. I want to repeat this. Somebody in your workplace can take the Vtne at the same time, but that does not mean that they're going to get the same test as you. Every test that, even if it's the same time, they change up the question. So even if you do ask them, and they're not legally supposed to tell you the questions, by the way, that are on the test, it is illegal. So you're putting your coworker friend in a bad position. And also, even if they did illegally tell you what the questions were on there, does not mean that that is going to be what's on your test. So again, I want to put this in your head that you need to learn what does this organ do? What does this medication do? What is it for? You need to learn, the parasites, not just just the generic fleas, or tapeworm. You need to know the life cycles. Learn the life cycles of each parasite, because that, I'm telling you, will help you on there. So you just don't want to know the basics. I thought going into this test that being in the field for, how long have I been in this field? 10 years, that would just be enough. I can just skim through this book and I should be fine, because I've been in this field for so long. But no, because you don't, in the veterinary field, you don't use all this terminology all the time. So you want to make sure that you read and you study, because this test is not made to be easy. It's made to make people, think really critically. So you do need to study. Don't do what I did, thinking that just being in the field for a long time that you don't need to study and you'll be fine, because I'm telling you, it is hard. It is a very hard test, and you need to study. That's why this time around I did my research. Why I made this video, I did my research. A lot of it is coming from the Facebook page that I showed you earlier, because there's a lot of people that post on there great books, great what they studied. They post their study notebooks of what they wrote down. They also have questions on there, and then other veterinary technicians answer them that could answer your question that you may have had as well. I think that is one of the most helpful things that you can do to help you, as because it helps your motivation, it helps you learn, it helps with the anxiety, as far as like what should I be doing, what should I be reading, and also if you have any anxiety like me, I have severe anxiety about what I need to study, because you just don't know the questions that you're going to get. The course, the Vtne $150 course for 8 weeks that I signed into should give you the basics of what you need to learn. And if you don't know what she is talking about, then that means that you just got to go into the books and read more about it, because this test is very intense. I am not going to lie. It is hard, and you need to study. You will not pass this test unless you study. So if you did like this video, or if this helped you at all, please put a like to this